Hey everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, February 13th. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video where we bring you some of the names from our watch list, stocks that are holding up well, showing some good relative strength, and generally speaking are still fairly actionable. That is our goal. And as always, these videos are powered by our partners over at Investors Business Daily, allowing us to take a look at some of their stock lists, letting us curate names from their lists and present them in this video. The first name that we're going to look at today is from IBD's list. This is PayPal. It is a familiar name, of course. It did report earnings recently and it has broken out. So that is why we are highlighting it here today. You can see this is a weekly time frame chart of PayPal, and this week now we are starting to break out to new highs, to trend to new highs in the very strong trend that it's been since its IPO in 2015. If we go down to a daily chart, you can see the level a little more closely was this 93.25, 93.50. Those were the highs from August, September. We briefly broke above them at the end of January. We pulled back, and now we're breaking out again. So nice, strong, long-term trend and mover there in PayPal. That's our first name from IBD's list. Number two from IBD is AYX. We highlighted this one a few weeks ago. It's still a bit messy here in the short term. This is the weekly time frame, so you can see just nice, strong, long-term uptrend. When we look here at the daily, though, you know, it's kind of in an interesting spot. It's very much a wait and see for me. I certainly would not want to be jumping the gun early on this one. It is above this 64 area. This had been resistance earlier in 2018 and late in the year as well. We broke out from that in January, and now we're kind of just putting in a smaller kind of sideways range above the longer term resistance. Generally speaking, I like that pattern. We are seeing, though, some uptick in distribution days, so to speak, so some uptick in volume on down sessions. So we do need to be careful here. If we start to lose the 65, 64 area back into this old range, all bets are off. But for now, still giving it the benefit of the doubt and really just watching this range to see how it ultimately resolves. Last but not least from IBD's list is TME. This one here is one we highlighted a few weeks back as well, right around this area as it started to break out to new highs from its initial IPO range. And here it is again, kind of back on that breakout list. It's a tough chase, but recently, you know, it did consolidate sideways here for a few days. It's very volatile. It's got quite a clip that it can move at here. It is a brand new IPO as of, 3 months ago. So, do keep that in mind if you're that type of trader. It is currently grappling with the prior highs here made in mid to late January. So, if you're looking for a clear pivot here above 16.25 or so, it hasn't quite done it yet, kind of failing here a bit today. Something to pay attention to. Now, next three come from our watch list. Next is LLY. So this is Eli Lilly here, and this one here, may not have the cleanest near-term pattern either, but again, we look at this trend on a long-term basis, and you can see it's just a total monster. 2018, it merged midway through the year, breaking out to new highs here, and earnings are out of the way now, and just look at the volume still coming in here as this grinds higher. So, LLY, I like it. It's tough. It's not a super actionable, breakout pattern here. It's just kind of a grinder that's been moving higher, but it has been, more or less finding resistance around this 119 level, and it is trying to clear above it, which is multi-month resistance. So I think there's something to look at there, but LLY, something to watch. Next is ILMN. This is one that we do own. So full disclosure, I do own this position already, but I wanted to highlight it here because I think it's still fairly actionable, and I like the name on it. We purchased it yesterday, so we do have this as a long position as of yesterday, and what I'm looking at here is definitely a longer term play for ILMN. You can see on a weekly chart, again, strong long-term uptrend, and it's been now consolidating for the past 6 months or so, but it's trying to find a floor here around or sub this 285 level. It's kind of the zone where it's been repeatedly selling off to. It's been finding support. It briefly undercut it at the end of December. It popped back above it, and then it briefly undercut it again at the end of January, and now we're back above it again. So I like the kind of reversal here. I like the attempts at selling off below this level, and now we're back above it. Earnings are out of the way. It is a longer term hold for me, not a very short term swing trade. And be aware, of course, this is not a direct recommendation. You have to do your your own due diligence. I will not be updating my progress necessarily on this trade unless it comes up on a, kind of normal video. So, buyer beware, don't just follow blindly. Let's make sure it fits your trading strategy, your time frame, all of that, risk profile, etc., etc. Last but not least is CROX, CROX. This is one I am also eyeing, do not own at this time, but highlighted this one a few weeks ago, and it is still developing and tightening in this flag, this wedge, whatever you want to call it. Again, strong trend to the upside here. You can see it's been kind of methodically, pulling back over the past several weeks, really since almost the beginning of the year or second week of the year. And it is moving sideways here very tight now for the past 4 or 5 trading sessions. So I'm interested in it. I like the pullback here. It is kind of a leadership name, growth name that has been on a nice move to the upside. Does report earnings at the end of this month, so you do have to be careful of that. Be aware of that potential catalyst. But for me, if this starts cranking above 27.30, 27.35 or so, not much further where it is right now, very interested in it as a potential kind of pullback trade, as we would call it. So that is it. That is what I got for this week's trade ideas. 6 names, 3 from our list, 3 from IBD's list. Check out their lists and with a link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Every Wednesday, we come back with trade ideas. You can follow us on YouTube or head to thetraderisk.com/blog. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of the day and talk to you in the next video update.